Now, ladies and gentlemen, I think one of the biggest gripes of the Counter-Strike 2 launch is that it launched, CSGO went away, and CS2 had a bunch of glaring issues. At least that's what people say. We have pros complaining, such as Simple, telling people to hold off. If you want to become a Counter-Strike 2 pro, I'd give it 3 months. Don't play this shit game, right? That's what we're getting. Okay, that sort of feedback from the top 0.1% of players. Rops, thankfully, is on our side. You know, I think Simple's take is a pretty edgy, terrible take. Don't stop playing the game. If you want it to get better, we should continue to play the game and continue to provide feedback to Valve to make our game better. Does that not make sense? I think one of the biggest complaints is that the game feels a little off. Right? Whether that be subtick servers or something else, the thing that I think is that when it comes to subtick servers in CS2, it is all dependent based on your connection. So if you have a bad connection, you're going to have a worse time with subtick than you would if it was, you know, a 64 tick, total 64 tick or 128 tick. It's going to feel different because it's based more on connection, from my understanding, than actual ticks of the server. At least in a normal tick server, if it was 64, if it was 120, the server still registers things as you click and do. You might not see it correctly on your screen, but that's kind of what's going on right now too, right? So with subtick, if your connection is bad or you have higher ping where you think you might have clicked, the server might not recognize that. One of the issues that I was noticing when I was playing in game is I live in the Midwest of the United States, right? And basically I'm routed through the Chicago server and I was seeing a ton of these huge, weird rubber banding lag spikes, just terrible. It was a mess, right? One thing that I did to fix that, and we're going to try another thing today, but one thing that I did to fix that, if anybody doesn't know, if you come up here to the settings menu, right, and you go over to game, there's this max acceptable ping feature right here. Mine was set to like 75, 80, and that's kind of where my ping was at. Nowadays, since I have lowered it to 49, I'm sitting around the 40, 50 range, and I'm not getting that nasty rubber banding anymore. However, that is not enough, and I want to be sitting inside the server, right? I want as low as ping as possible, and that's where today's video comes into play. I'm going to be trying an application called ExitLag. Now, a buddy told me about this, and I did a little bit of digging into it. It's an application that is supposed to optimize your connection to game servers, okay? Counter-Strike Go is on that list. I can only imagine that CS2 is also accepted, but we're going to find out. So, knowing a baseline of if I have that setting turned up, my ping is around 70, 80, and right now it's around 40 to 50. I want to see if we can get that ping lower with this application. Now, from what I understand, because I was a tech creator before I started making Counter-Strike content, is that ExitLag just seems to be a glorified DNS. Everything that it does, you should be able to do on your own home network without paying for this service or paying for this application. And if you think about it, Google DNS is free. But I have downloaded ExitLag. I'm going to install it, then I'm going to play a match, and we're going to see where the ping is at, see how it feels. So let me get that installed. Let us hop into a match, and let's see what happens. Okay, so we have installed ExitLag, and it forced me to restart. Now we got to log in, so we will log in. I don't know if it made changes to like my DNS or to my network settings after the install process was complete, and that's why you have to restart. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it's going through and analyzing the route right now. But yeah, this seems to be, from what I understand, a glorified DNS, some sort of network, some sort of network thing. Let's see. So it looks like right out the gate, it's caught that we have energy efficient Ethernet on. We can reduce that. It'll reset the network adapters. I'm not going to do that right now. So now I assume we find Counter-Strike in the list, and CS2 is here. By the way, if anybody wants to try this out, there will be a link down in the top pinned comment and in the description down below. If you decide to check it out, gives the channel a little kickback. But let's find out if it actually works first, right? So we've picked our game, Counter-Strike 2. It picked out North America as the region. Yes, we want to use the routes within my country first, I would assume. We want to run the optimizer just to make sure everything is good. Now we want to apply the routes, and that game should be added there. Now, I don't know if this applies like a DNS routing on top of like the game, or if it actually changes your actual network settings, but you can toggle it on and off up here. What do we have in tools? We got packet redirection methods, optimization, accuracy. You can do like FPS boost. We can do traffic shaping, multi-internet, run diagnostics and monitor ping in real time. And then you can add new games within there. If you want to download and try it out, like I said, it'll be in the top pinned comment down below. It'll find your internet provider. You will have a 4-day free trial to try it out and see if it works for you, but let's find out if it works, right? So we have our Counter-Strike routes active here. The application is turned on. I don't think we should be able to get VAC banned for this, since it is seemingly a DNS or VPN. I want to find out if it's changing anything with my internet speeds. You know, if we're connecting through different routes, if we're going to different servers and stuff, it might impact your download speed, which it doesn't appear to be doing that. My internet looks fine. ExitLag found that Counter-Strike 2 is running. All right, let's try a match. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the results are in, and it's actually more surprising than I thought it was going to be. So we started earlier on in the video. I turned on ExitLag for the first time. We set up CS2 and the automatic routes, optimize the routes as they call it, the technology. I'm not exactly sure what's going on in the back end there, but we set up the routes. We made sure that ExitLag was turned on, and we entered our first game of CS2 for the day. Now, this match, we got absolutely stomped 13-2, but I am proud to say that it was not related to my lag. In the game where we turned ExitLag on for the first time, my connection was still routed through Chicago, same as always. However, my ping was down to 22 ping, surprisingly better than it normally is, or better than I thought it was going to do. Now, the low ping didn't save my aim. That is a skill issue, and one that I'm trying to continuously work on. However, I'm very bad at the game, but I just love the game. It's just so fun. So when we moved on over to game 2, I decided to fully close out of Counter-Strike 2. I closed it out. I went to ExitLag, I turned ExitLag off, and then we went into a match on Mirage. Now, in Mirage, surprised to say, my ping was back up to about 36 to 40 ping. I thought, okay, maybe, you know, it's a fluke. Maybe it's just fluctuating and it'll go back down, or, you know, whatever. But in game 1, it stayed at a consistent 22 ping. At game 2, like I said, it hovered around 36 to 40, but mainly stuck around 36 ping. So a 14 ping total decrease by just turning ExitLag on. Now, is this worth $10 a month or $5 a month if you do the annual plan, or slightly cheaper if you do the half-a-year plan? That is hard to say, because while I did have lower ping in the first game, it wasn't noticeable enough for me to be like, oh, yeah, I'm definitely seeing a nice difference here. Maybe when I got a double, maybe when I got a 2K in one round with a couple headshots, it felt really nice. But other than that, it kind of just felt like Counter-Strike 2. I mean, it just felt pretty much the same. And in game 2, matchmaking flipped itself on its head, and we were the ones that got to decimate our opponents. In that match, I was hitting a lot more shots, and I was kind of popping off a little bit. And that was with the higher ping, the 36 ping. So does 14 ping make that much of a difference? Well, maybe not to a low elo, low tier player like myself. However, if you are a better player, someone who can tell the difference between ping because you're just better than I am, which I'm sure there's a lot of people that are, then maybe this is for you. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. But if you want to find out, again, in the description down below and in the top pinned comment, there will be a link to try it out for 4 days, 4-day free trial. You don't have to give your credit card. You don't have to give your banking information or nothing. You can just download it, sign up for an account, and try it out for free for 4 days. Try it out. Let me know if this is better for you or if it is worse. Again, I can clearly see that the game marks my ping lower when it is on, but being a low tier player already, I don't notice too much of a difference. However, what I will say is that while I was using ExitLag, I didn't see any rubber banding or choppiness. So if you're someone who is seeing that kind of thing, you can either go into the game and set max ping to like 40, or you can, like I said, try this out. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the video. If you liked it, like it, subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.